Good morning and welcome back to the channel. This morning we're going to actually look for a small church called St Mary's Church in Mundon in Essex. On the previous video I thought it was a church that my twin brother the Journeyman visited weekend a couple of times actually, to do a kind of a ghost explore overnight. But I got the wrong church. But it was a nice church, and I did a video which I've uploaded, and hopefully you've looked and enjoyed that. But we're going to find this church that he actually went to. It looked really nice. It's old. I think it's open all the time anyway. So I just thought you may enjoy it, or I might enjoy it, looking around this beautiful old church. So I'll have more to say either closer to the church or when we arrive. So again, thanks for joining me on this one, and yeah, please enjoy.
Like nobody else. I wanted to escape for a while. I called a couple of friends and we went out. But I never thought I'd see your face. I really wanted to escape, but it was just too late. Someone said your name, had to turn around. Suddenly you're there standing in the crowd. Everything comes back in the blink of an eye. It's like you're mine, you're still mine. We skip the small talk, cause you know me better than I know myself. Oh, it's been a while now since I saw you, but it feels like yesterday somehow. Time has stopped, nothing's changed, we're the same. And we skip the small talk, cause you know me, yeah, you know me like nobody else. Skip the small talk. Cause you know me better than I know myself. Oh, it's been a while now since I saw you, but it feels like yesterday somehow. Time has stopped, nothing's changed, we're the same. And we skip the small talk, cause you know me, yeah, you know me like nobody else. Wanted to escape for a while. Not that a couple of drinks could ease my mind. I've been thinking of you for 2 weeks straight. You know that I need to get myself back in the game. Someone said your name, had to turn around. Suddenly you're there standing in the crowd. Everything comes back in the blink of an eye. It's like you're mine, you're still mine.
Right, it's telling me it's here to the church, Vicarage Lane, so I must be in the right place. I think there's a little bit of a walk down to the church itself when you actually park up. I can't remember if this is the one, but we'll have a look. I've got my gloves in there. Okay. Lovely little country roads. A couple of little properties here. Beautiful. Delightful place to live.
Wanted to escape for a while. I called a couple of friends and we went out.
Must be virtually on top of it now. Hasn't quite come into view yet, but I've reached my destination.
Suddenly you're there standing in the crowd. Everything comes back in the blink of an eye. It's like you're mine.
easy when you got a foggy day like this to actually spot it in the distance. That's a beautiful cottage. You can't see it, but on the left as we pass by. This road looks like it comes to an end on the map, so it's got to be at the end of this road, I assume. There's certainly, I know properties around it, so it would have been a quiet little church for sure. Wouldn't have had many parishioners, I would have thought. There's just not many houses around here. Looks like we're running out of road. Ah, there we go. Yeah, there definitely is a walkway down to the church, so it's... I need to find somewhere to park. I think that's going to be the hard parts. Let me turn around and see about parking.
I wanted to escape for a while. A couple of drinks could ease my mind. I've been thinking of you for 2 weeks straight. I know that I need to give
It's probably not so bad at night when my brother came down here, because there's no one going to worry about where you're parking. I'll possibly pull up here on the grass. Yeah. We'll wander down. So, yeah, please join me. I'll change cameras and be back shortly. That's how I changed over cameras, and I thought we'd have a walk down to the church that we spoke about. This is the actual church that my twin brother done his investigation that weekend, and he has a few times, which is, looks like the entrance is just by Mundon Hall House, which is a beautiful little estate and a private road there, and this leads you down to the church itself. Don't know how far down it goes, and as you can see there, make it out, there's a lovely little lake there, which I assume part of the manor house. The church itself maybe could have been a private church for whoever owned the manor at the time, or many centuries ago, which I assume is fairly common. Beautiful countryside, it's a shame you can't see it. And here we go, look, we're just coming into seeing the church for the first time. Yeah, and this is definitely the one, which is great to see. Look how beautiful that looks. Look, really old building, not sure how old, maybe 12th century, maybe earlier, but it's got a lovely facade. Take a look at that. You can see the tower is slightly leaning, whether that was the way it was originally, or it's dropped or something, I don't know, but it's a really unusual church, and I haven't seen anything like this before in my travels. And this is, we'll have a look around the outside in a minute, but here we go, St Mary's Mundon. It's owned and maintained by Friends of Friendless Churches and charity, which rescues redundant churches of historic and architectural importance for the benefit of present and future generations. That's lovely. I mean, that's a great charity to preserve and look after these places. It's a real haunting location. You can hear the birds like and that. I don't know, just get a feel for the history here. It's just so beautiful. Look at it. And that old door. Well, privileged to be here and look around. Yes, it's definitely it. How strange it looks during the day when I watch his night vigils. And this is still a really dark area, this entryway, vestibule, whatever you like to call it. And it's really, really old. So again, there's some beautiful English oak supporting the structure. Come through this archway into the main church itself. An old font. Wow, it really has a coldness to it and a historic feel, and it is really, really old. You can see that by the crumbling wall, if you like, and there's a crack going right up to the ceiling. As I say, you can't get a feel for this at night in my brother's video, but yeah, it's beautiful. It's obviously in need of repair, and I'm sure they are doing so. Looking at the ceiling there, it looks like they have re-skimmed it, if you like, and it looks quite new, quite nice. Looks like the walls are going to be next. Yeah, you can see the plaster will probably be the next thing done. Beautiful little side door there, and these pews are really ornate and unusual. They're quite tall. Yeah. So I'm just trying to see what that says up there on that sign. I think it's Isaiah. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. That's a lovely saying. I hope I didn't sound too garbled when I read that out. It's old English, it's quite difficult at times. But this is a really old church. You can see just by the windows. There's no stained glass there. Whether there was originally, I don't know, but you can see just the frame of the window is kind of just really deteriorated. It's got to be at least 1,000 years old, this church. Beautiful. The old pulpit there. Again, in need of a little bit of restoration. And some writing up there on the ceiling there. Behold the Lamb of God. I say some really old carvings, really basic but quite beautiful. I say just absolutely many centuries years old, and it's still gorgeous. And so we've got some pews here. I assume would have been the choir down the front section. And this really old stone floor, beautiful. Looks like we've got some people are interred here. 1821, 1848. But that doesn't belie the age of the church. This has got to be 1,000 years. Well, you know, coming up to that sort of time. The altar's no longer here. I suppose it's they call it deconsecrated, maybe. I don't know. There's no altar stone anyway, and cross, etc. I'll try and find out a little bit about this church and leave some comments in the write-up. And again, look at these old inlays here. They're just unfortunately deteriorated. Hopefully they'll bring them back to some semblance of being able to read, because they're quite beautiful and they need to be saved. Can't really make out too much on that, especially as it could be kind of old English. It's difficult to read at the best of times. And that's the Lord's Prayer there by the looks of it. Yeah. Our Father, which art in heaven. So yeah, that's the Lord's Prayer. But it's a very small church. I say, if you look down here, it's just so unusual. I've never seen anything like it. As I say, the ceiling's been done, so they're working down. There's quite a bit of damage to the fretwork, woodwork, etc. So I'm sure they'll make good on that. And it naturally drops. Can you see that? It kind of runs downhill from the front of the church down to the back end. But I know when my twin brother was here last weekend, there's some orbs, etc. And something actually got thrown from one of these pews. I think it was a stone or something, and you could see it rise from the right and over to the left and drop and bang into the footwell there. I know he had an orb that came from floor level here and rose up slowly as well. So and plenty of spirit communication. So it's quite an active church actually during the night, and it has that feel during the day also. I just find that so unusual. This kind of back end of the church. There's no windows. It's really dark, and it's actually kind of offset, if you like. I don't know if it's just maybe the foundation slipped or it's just that old. It's just the way it was put together and constructed. But it is lovely. It really is. But it's cold. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Just look at these old oak beams, and they're so big. And it must be one impressive tree that came off. And all of the supports here on the entranceway are massive. They've got to be at least 12 by 12 inches. And they're extremely tall as well. And they've got to come off a large English oak, many centuries old. As I say, that's the church. I can't really show you any more, but it's just stunning, absolutely stunning, and it's definitely worth a visit. You can make it up there, just the top opening and the cross beams there of the roof supports. Yeah, absolutely stunning. So let's take a look on the outside, and it's funny to be directly outside the entrance. There's an old gravestone. So let's have a look around. I've got some really old graves here. That one is really unusual. It's got a wooden cross sitting on top of the stone. And if I remember rightly, yeah, it was these ones I saw. These really old headstones, which are iron or steel, and it's something you don't encounter very often, and they're far too degraded to see dates or anything. But that is John Birchall, and I remember rightly in the video there's quite a few Birchalls here that are buried. Let's say take a look at the side and look at this absolutely beautiful porchway. That would have been the main entrance, no doubt. Yeah, take a look at that. It's beautiful. Again, really old English oak, a testament to the survivability of that. It's really stood the test of time. So beautiful small graveyard. I think a lot of these were 1800s, if I remember my brother saying. But as I say, the church is definitely far older. I will find out a rough age. That's 1902. It looks quite well degraded, actually. It looks a lot older. Maybe it's just where it's sitting. And there's a public footpath there at the back end of the church, leading over to farmland, etc. So it's very foggy, so it's difficult to see. And that's the back end. Obviously that's not original to the church by any stretch of the imagination. That's been rebuilt in whatever time frame, I don't know, but that's definitely not original to the church. Not that brickwork, I wouldn't have thought anyway. So it's obviously had probably various renovations over the centuries. And probably because I don't know if it was a local parish church, because as I say, there's not a lot around here, so maybe it just belonged to the Lord and the Manor, so to speak, and it was his private church. But there's people buried here. They're obviously landowners. Maybe they're just a few families that are buried here. I'm sure I also read something about the families that are buried here were possibly slave owners, etc. So they were a big family of wealth, etc. And look at the size of this headstone here. Obviously many people here, but yeah, I can at least see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people that are here. I'm not quite sure how they would have lifted that stone every time they interred somebody. I'm trying to make out. Yeah, Powell. I think they're all Powells. They're all Powells is the surname. And Hester. William Powell. Llewellyn Powell. William Susan. No, it can't be William, surely. Yeah, William Susan Powell. So yeah, it's obviously a family crypt. As I say, I don't know how they would have lifted that stone every time they interred somebody. And a couple of very old stones over there. We'll take a quick look at those. So that one doesn't have a stone, and these are only 1923, 1926, 1928, so they're relatively new stones really, in the scheme of things, and they're in quite a poor state. So I hope you, as I say, it was only a brief look. I was so intrigued by this old church in these videos, I just thought I must come and have a look, and during the daytime just get a feel for the place, and it is really beautiful. It's a shame the sun ain't shining, but I suppose the mist gives it a kind of a haunting feel as well, but at least you can see everything inside the church in daytime, and it's set in such a beautiful location. I know you can't appreciate it because of the fog, but just trust me, it's a really beautiful place. And as I say, I'll put a bit more in the description about the church and the age, but it's definitely one, if you're into looking around church, it's definitely one to come and look at. So again, I want to thank you for joining me today. I really enjoyed my look around this old church, and I hope you do visit also. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you on the next video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.